We look across to our brothers and sisters in the in Haiti, and when you look at the devastation that happened, where it is reported over 1,000 people have been killed to date, and the numbers are still rising. There are a number of challenges there, including the aftermath of the hurricane and what is being done on the island. There is the voice of authority. It is Radio Solei in New York. They speak for the diaspora throughout the world. The program director of that radio station is Ricot Dupuy, a Haitian and an advocate himself. Let me first say good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, my good friend. Thanks for having me.
It is good to have you every time I get the chance to speak with you. Unfortunately, it is after a disaster, undesirable circumstances like this one. As I said a moment ago, over 1,000 people are killed. The numbers are still rising. Are there any new numbers, and what sort of relief is reaching survivors of this disaster is my question to you this morning.
Well, I know the number of 1,000. That's what's being advanced at this point. But as you suggest, it's much, much higher than that. For reasons that we can all understand, Haiti historically has had problem with accounting for its victims. So whenever you have natural disasters, it's very difficult to access remote areas. So I'm sure there are a lot of deaths are not being accounted for. That's always the case. So I would not be surprised if the true figures is in near 1,500 or more.
It goes without saying that we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and yours truly, share the pain of the people of Haiti. The Pan American Health Organization said on Thursday it was preparing for a possible cholera surge in Haiti after the hurricane because the flooding was likely to contaminate water supplies. Has PAHO or any other international agency given any concrete plans of how they are proposing to deal with this?
Well, it's not that this thing is imminent. It's there. It's there right now. There are areas where the cholera threat. It's not even a threat. It's happening right now. The water. There's absolutely no drinking water. All the water system is totally corrupted, and massive incidence of cholera cases. So it's no longer a threat. It's the reality in many places in Haiti right now. You see the cholera, as I'm sure you know the history of the cholera in Haiti. We did not have cholera for never until the United Nations brought its troops from Nepal in Haiti. So they took them almost 5 or 6 years to acknowledge their implication in bringing cholera in Haiti, and they basically did nothing at all. So PAHO can make all the promises that they want. The countries of the world, the United Nations in particular, they had all the time in the world to do what they're supposed to do to contain the cholera thing in Haiti, and they haven't done it. So I'm not convinced that this time around they'll do the right stuff. So
that is precisely the reason I asked the question, because it is not, they say, a possible cholera surge. So there is acknowledgement that it is there, as you said, as we all know. What was not in this statement, and that's why I asked you if they've given any more concrete plans as to how to deal with it, is because what we got from them as a result of the workers bringing in the cholera situation is that we've had a long period and nothing in fact was done. So by now saying they're looking for a surge, I didn't just want to get the news release that they handed out. I wanted to hear from you, hopefully, that there was something more concrete they were supposed to do or planning to do as a consequence of what is invariably going to be a widespread situation.
The situation is so dire that there are places in Haiti where the hospitals are crowded, filled with cholera patients, and we have instances where family members who are taking care of these people, they scare for their own life. Last night I was reading, and it's a heartbreaking thing, where a father said, "I don't care what happened to me. I don't care if I have cholera myself, but I have to take care of my child. That's my mission in life." It is that bad. It's reached that proportion in some areas of the country.
Ricot Dupuy is my guest, the program director of Radio Solei in New York, Haitian advocate. We're talking about, along with the human devastation, the storm killed livestock and destroyed crops in parts of the impoverished nation to such an extent that the loss after the cleanup will continue to deprive the nation of its food basket. What, as far as you know now, is the extent of that damage to crop and livestock?
It is huge. All the crops in the country have been washed out, and you can expect a massive spike in prices that has started, but it's going to be astronomical in the weeks, in the months to come. Livestock basically do not exist because what hit Haiti was winds to the tune of 145 miles an hour. It came with a destructive force, and everything that it found in its path is just destroyed. So there's no crops, livestock don't exist, and we just have to start from scratch, from zero. So the country has been pushed back more than 60 years to more than 60 years. So it's a reality that you can barely describe. While I'm talking to you right now, I have the picture of that man, and in a report that was filed with my station from Haiti. I mean, this guy was describing the wind was coming with fury, 145 miles an hour. So he held on a wall, and in his left with his left hand, and in the right hand he held his two-year-old baby, and my goodness, it was a fight for their life. He held on. He was praying God and he finally he managed to survive. I mean, you have stories like that all over the country at that time, and so I hope that picture, that report described to you really the situation that existed at that time. So it's a situation that you can barely describe, and the aftermath is I don't know. I'm having difficulty finding the word to describe it because it's just that bad. It's just that bad because it hit Haiti with its full force. Everybody was praying that would not be the case. It would lose strength before it reached Haiti, but no, it reached Haiti with a deadly 145 miles an hour, a country lacking in all infrastructures, lacking in basically everything, and that was the situation, and that is the aftermath.
20 minutes away from 11 o'clock on Brunch, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago has stated individually and through CARICOM efforts being put forward to assist Haiti, and nationals here in Trinidad and Tobago I know are making contributions individually, but international agencies collected tens of millions of dollars after the 2010 earthquake, much of which never reached Haiti. That's a subject you and I discussed the last time we were here. My question, however, this time is, while the world is undergoing its own economic problems, hearts are always willing to put out and give. But in giving, there is a question of where it is collected and what happens to it. Was mechanism put in place to avoid what many have called the theft of human goodwill? And what has the response been from these organizations who were accused of not disbursing the money to Haiti that they collected?
Well, let's take the UN, for example. The UN decided that they need at least 120 million to deal with this thing, which is a very, very poor figure. But so far they've collected only less than 2%, about 6 million. And the Ben Ki-moon knows that his reputation is at stake here. So his organizations brought cholera in Haiti, and for 6 years they spin their wheel, trying to say that there's no evidence, and until finally, before he leaves, they had to acknowledge their contribution to the importation of cholera in Haiti. So the relief effort is very, very slow for the reasons you mentioned. Less than 5 or 10% of what was collected actually made it to Haiti. A number of countries and a number of companies, institutions, NGOs enriched themselves using the earthquake as an opportunity to do well, and they did. So they know the world is looking at them this time around. So they a little more timid. It's going to be more and more difficult to use this hurricane as a way to enrich themselves again. So because of that, they're timid. So you don't see them out there. Let's take the example of the Red Cross. My goodness, which collected close to $1 billion for Haiti. There are reports that they only built 6 homes. So right now, the Haitian people are saying, yes, we want the international organization to help us, but we don't want no collection via the Red Cross. And this, so that creates some timidity on the part of the international organizations, because we cannot allow that catastrophe. That was a catastrophe of its own. The collection process to be repeated. So that has slowed significantly the response to this thing, and even Asian organizations in the diaspora. They are slow coming together because of the experience of 5 years ago. They want to make sure they cover all corners. They want to make sure they better go slow, but they want to make sure they put in place structures that will guarantee that whatever they collect will actually go to the victims of the earthquake. So in doing that, that inevitably slows the process. And it's bad because the people cannot wait. The needs are
immediate,
pressing. Whatever they need it now. They don't have time for people to wait to put in place structures that are functional and so on. So that is the crux of the issue. That is dilemma. In a way, the consequences, the way things were done in 2010, is creating a problem because they just don't want the repetition of what happened there.
The voice of broadcaster in New York City, Ricot Dupuy, Haitian national and advocate. He is the program director of the largest voice for the diaspora all over the world, the Haitian diaspora. He is Ricot Dupuy. Ricot, the postponement of elections is irrelevant right now because of this crisis, but it does raise the question. While we speak of the international community and their assistance to Haiti, the question of the elections looms large because folks ask the question, what the current government, what measures were put in place to deal with the aftermath of a natural disaster such as this?
Well, the postponement of the elections in itself a problem because it's very, very difficult for caretaker governments of the type that we have because this government has only one mission. It was to organize elections on October 9th. So they're very, very suspicious of this government undertaking anything outside of organizing the elections. But now that's the government that we have. So they have to do what's necessary to bring relief to the people. But as they do that, the political parties are putting pressure on that government. Why are you doing this? Because the fear is that this government may have interest in perpetuating itself. They may use this hurricane, this natural disaster, as an excuse not to organize the elections. So while they trying to bring relief, to do what it takes, so they have to sign accord with the international community. But they're being watched as they do that. It's like you dumb if you do, you dumb if you don't. So that is the problem that is created by that. Now they have announced November 28th as the date of the first round of the election, and January 29th as the date for the second round. That is creating all kinds of challenge and problems. I don't know if I make that clear. Right now, it's important that the government speaks with the international community. It's important that the government put in place structures to guarantee that the relief gets to Haiti. But as they do that, they're being challenged by political forces who are ascribing to them objectives that they may not have. They're saying, if you're doing this, if you're doing all these things, your intention is not to go and organize elections. So that is creating right now all kinds of complications, all kind of political problems in Haiti right now. So
I believe that if you would concur that to speak in terms of election November 28th on the heels of this devastation is quite premature.
Absolutely, it's quite premature. So the thing is that there is a constitutional mandate for the passing of the transfer of powers to be made on February 7th. The thing is that because of the instability that has been really a key thing in Haitian politics, rarely have the transfer of powers been done in time. So this time, the view was that, okay, we're going to do it February 7th on time. So it seems to me now, this time, we won't be able to respect that deadline. So you have two views. One view that says, well, we have to respect it because of our past, because of what that has caused us as a country, not failure to respect the constitutional mandate and deadlines. And you have another view that says, there's no way we can respect that deadline, so let's push it back and do what we have to do right now. Forget about elections. And I belong to that view that right now we should be concentrated not on organizing elections, but definitely on bringing relief as soon as it can to the people. But right now, that is what is being discussed right now. That is what is occupying the media. Is what do you do? Do we postpone the elections, or do we do what needs to be done to bring relief to the people?
I'm in concurrence with you, Rico, that this is an issue that you want to worry about next year. The immediate thing is to take care of the needs of the people. In conclusion, I should ask you this, however. The last time we had such devastation, it did not extend to all of the country. So how widespread is this? Was this only limited, the major devastation to the city, to Port-au-Prince itself, or is this something that hit the nation overall? How widespread was the damage?
It hits the nation as a whole, but of course the South and the Grand Anse were the areas the most affected. Mm-hmm. The town of Jérémie, for example, which we know, which is the town of, they call it the town of poets. Most of the celebrated Haitian poets came from Jérémie. That has been wiped out. Basically, there is no housing, no house standing, and the house that stand have no roofs. There's basically nothing there. They're talking about taking that whole city and relocate it and take it somewhere else. Because it's not the first time that has happened. That happened. The city of Lekai, another one, has been destroyed twice. So they're talking about just take these two cities. Lekai is the fourth most important city in Haiti. So they're talking about taking that city and take it somewhere else because it's near the coast, too prone to destructions of that type. So to answer your questions, the southern part of the country was the most affected, but this thing was wide enough to create havoc throughout the country.
My brother Ricot Dupuy, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us, giving us the update and the perspective of what's going on in Haiti. Unfortunately, as I said, we keep meeting it after these undesirable circumstances, but we will be in touch both here on and off the air as we generally do. I thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you, my friend, Mr. Bishop. Thanks for having me.
You have a wonderful day now.